Welcome to a fresh hour of CBS Sports HQ. I am Jenny Dell. Our CBS Sports HQ training camp tour continues. Yesterday, we brought you live reports from the Bucs and Lions camp. Today, we are focused on the Jags, the Chargers, the Vikings, and our defending Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a busy Tuesday for you, but we're going to start with the Jaguars. Now, the Jags made key moves this offseason to bounce back in 2025. They retooled their offensive line. They added depth at wide receiver, doubled down on defense throughout the draft, and we have two of our favorites, Pete Prisco and Charles Davis, holding it down at Jags camp. Fellas, we knew that they integrated Travis Hunter into both offensive and defensive drills. As you're watching just from your own standpoint there at Jags camp, they're doing a little rotating flip-flop schedule to build this dual workload. How sustainable is this?
Well, he's going to play every snap. That's the idea. That's what they hope. He said he wants to. He told me he wants to play every snap. The team thinks that he can play every snap. It's hard to believe, but it's also amazing. And when you look at it, Charles, talking about a guy playing almost every snap in the National Football League as a rookie, I mean, it's incredible to even think about it.
Well, Deion Sanders is probably the last one who did it on a consistent basis for a portion of the season. Chuck Bednarik was the last to do it throughout the entire season, including 59.5 minutes in the NFL title game. There's a lot to it. It's something that he's done his entire career. It's part of why the Jacksonville Jaguars drafted him, and they have a plan for it. If he's on offense that day, he'll go during the special teams periods and work on some of his defensive stuff, but they don't overly tax him. They work on things without grinding him. And then if it's a defensive day for him, he'll do the same thing for his offensive wide receiver play. So the beautiful thing is, James Gladstone's a GM, Liam Coen is the head coach, rest of the organization. They have a plan in place. This kid wants to do it, and the rest of the NFL and all of us who are fans are excited to watch what's going to happen here in Duval.
We certainly want to see it. You mentioned Liam Coen there. He supports this long-term plan to develop him at both positions, calling it a part of a deliberate developmental trajectory. I mean, we'll see how it all plays out. That's a lot of work for a young kid out there. Speaking of Liam Coen, we know he's implementing an entirely new system. When you look at Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr., how quickly are they building further chemistry in this new system? And what do they look like in a Coen offense, Pete?
Well, I think this offense is really impressive in the way they move people around. And, you know, the offense the last couple of years was very stale. I thought it was. And I think this is a new offense, and it's exciting to watch it because there is a lot of movement and a lot of pre-snap movement. And guys play different positions. And so far, it's been a little bit of a slow start. Trevor Lawrence hit a big play, and Liam Coen told me, he said, look, he hit that play because he called that play. That's what he wanted to run. He hit De'Ami Brown on a deep crosser today for a big play in the 2-minute offense. And that's where it's getting to. It's developmental for Trevor Lawrence, and I think he's getting more comfortable in it. It takes a little time. And talking to Baker Mayfield about the offense, he said it took him a little time to adjust to it. So it's going to be a work in progress, but the talent is there, and this is a big year for Trevor Lawrence.
And Pete, as you know, it's not just working through the offense with Liam Coen, it's working through some mechanical things as well. They've done some stuff with him, trying to shorten some things, making sure that he's doing things a little bit differently, footwork, all of those things. So he's got to put that into practice as well. So any of us who are out there charting how many completions did he have today, how many yards did he throw for, that's folly. No one cares. It doesn't matter. Did he make progress in this offense? Did he make progress with his mechanics? Because as Pete said, it's a monster year for Trevor Lawrence and this organization.
No pressure. And I mean, they're doing everything that they can to help him out there. You look at the running back depth chart. So you have a solid mix of veterans and rookies. You got Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby. You got a whole slew of rookies out there. So how do you see this depth chart kind of shaping up when it comes to the Jags, Pete?
I think it's going to be running back by committee. I mean, and just talking to people around here, that's kind of the impression you get. Each of them could do a bunch of different things and do certain things well. You look at Tank Bigsby, he's more of a power runner. You look at Etienne, he can get outside. He can also, catch the football. Tootin is the guy. When you look at Tootin, the rookie, he can flat out run. And, he had some fumbling problems at Virginia Tech, but he's also a guy that can give you the home run threat. So I think all those guys are going to be part of it. And then you talk about Allen Allen, the rookie from Syracuse, into third down back, who, by the way, might be their best blocker in third down situations already, which is saying something. So I think it's going to be running back by committee. You're not going to see a number one running back.
And that will be a heck of a fight, too. I'm going to start with Bashil Tootin, who put up numbers in North Carolina A&T and Virginia Tech, and has shed his knee brace. He had the knee brace that he wore part of the time at Virginia Tech. Goes to the combine, runs 4.32. LaQuint Allen, multiple-year 1,000-yard runner at Syracuse, and a great pass protector, as Pete outlined. Then you go to Tank Bigsby. I watched him working on his pass blocking today. Went head-to-head with Devin Lloyd. The drill was over. Grabs Devin Lloyd to ask about hand placement. Should I have it here? He's trying to get it right. And Etienne, I just think he's a great all-around back. He wants to prove he's been that guy before. He can do it again. Great competition here. Yeah, maybe running back by committee. But if someone gets the hot hand, look out.
You stick with the hot hand always, right? When you come to a new team, a new program, a new organization, and you're a new head coach, just when you look at this Jags team in general, there's so much newness. So when you look at their new Jags defensive coordinator and Anthony Campanelli, there's been rave reviews from this guy. Guys, it's his first ever NFL DC role. He was brought in from the Packers after serving as their linebackers coach and the run game coordinator. What do you expect from him in year one here, Pete?
A lot of creativity. He's going to throw a bunch of different looks at an offense, and you know, talking to the staff and talking to the players, they love him. I mean, he's one of those guys that's going to be using a lot of the Brian Flores type of stuff, where you throw guys in the double A gap and blitz them and back off guys and drop into zones where you don't expect them. And I think creativity is something they needed on that side of the ball. The players love it, and you know, look, I think he's on the fast track to be a head coach in this league. And I think having this defense turn around just a little bit, because they weren't very good. They haven't stopped the run, which in turn has limited their ability to rush the passer. And, you know, Josh Hines-Allen's numbers went down last year. He got too heavy. They made him get too heavy. He's back in shape again. He's talking about, you know, being big, putting up big sack numbers. So I think defensively they will be better. How much better will depend on if they can stop the run.
Well, there's one thing I think you want to eliminate for us, Pete, and that's what they also say about Anthony Campanelli. He's a teacher. What is that? What is the things that you've heard about him, about how well he teaches players to learn this game?
Yeah, he's definitely one of those. They rave about his ability to teach, and you have to be able to do that. It's not just, you know, X's and O's, rah-rah stuff when you're out there, and he does that, by the way, but you got to be able to teach.
And you have to do it because you got to develop these guys. Yes, you draft them. Yes, you bring them as free agents. Yes, they're great athletes, but development is what makes teams better, which makes teams great. That's something that goes into his arsenal as well. And let's face it, coaching is teaching. The best coaching is the best teachers.
Man, I feel like that should be a T-shirt slogan right there, Charles. Liam Coen said his new DC is exactly what we want.
If you trademark
it right now.
We're splitting the money.
If you're
trademarking it, we're splitting the money.
I am in on that, Charles. The new coaching staff, we got several key young pieces stepping up. We're expecting them to go into larger roles. So, Pete, what are some realistic year one expectations for your Jags team? What would you define as a successful 2025?
9 wins. I think that's a good season for them. And you look at the landscape of the division, it's not very good. I mean, the division's not very good top to bottom. I mean, people talk about the Texans, and the Texans' offensive line's a major concern. And they're going to rely on a bunch of young receivers on that side of the ball. Defensively, they should be good. You go to the Titans, they're starting a rookie quarterback. Look, he could be very good, but there's also problems at other spots there. And you go to the Colts, Lord knows they have quarterback issues. So I don't think the division's very good. And I think this team will be better. How much better will depend on what they do up in the trenches. I mean, if the defensive line, the defensive tackles can stop the run, they'll be good on that side of the ball. If the offensive line can run the ball, which is something they need to do a better job of, they'll be better. So I think the potential is there for 9. I don't know if they're going to get there, but the potential is certainly there.
Well, I think, Pete, if they do get to 9 puts them in striking distance, because you just don't know how it's going to play above you. And I'm talking about Houston. As good as they've been in the last 2 years winning the division, you're still playing a first-place schedule, and you still have to go out and prove it week in and week out. And by the way, when people schedule Houston now, they do actually circle them. It's a big deal to them to play the Houston Texans. So if you get to 9, and there's any slippage from Houston at all, I think they won the division with 10 last year, you're right there in striking distance. So it's a nice number to put up there.
Okay, real quick, Charles, though, I'm putting you on the spot. So Pete says 9. What number are you going with?
Yeah, I think 9's a good number.
Okay.
It's actually an excellent number when you really get down to it. I can't wait to see what they do handling the other teams in the division, because Houston weathering the storm last year, I feel like they're a little battle-tested. They should be better out of the gate this year. The other two, Tennessee, Indianapolis, this is where Jacksonville's got to win that fist fight.
Pete Prisco, Charles Davis, you look a little warm out there, fellas. Go cool off for a bit. We appreciate you here on HQ. Of course, you can catch all the action on the NFL on CBS. We are going to be kicking it off September 7th. We got Jets, Steelers, Lions, Packers. The NFL Today is going to be in Green Bay for that one as well.